Hey guys, Paul Simon here. I'd like to talk to you guys about some inadvertent pedal pushes in flight as a possibility that can occur with some students. I know the 407s had some problems in the early days before they redesigned the tail rotor and had some inadvertent, they think what caused the accident was full left pedal deflection during cruise flight, and the tail rotors actually impacted the tail boom, and so subsequently they ended up having an AD note concerning that. They limited the airspeed. They ended up redesigning the tail rotor. I think they lengthened the shaft on the output shaft out to the tail rotor, and they put some limiters in place that above 55 knots you could only go about half left pedal, I think was. Well, guess what? I don't know of any incidents or accidents that have happened with the Robinsons or any of the other common trailing helicopters with this, but I can tell you that it's something that can occur. And I had a student that actually did this to me once. So we're going to go out to the aircraft here in just a second and talk further about that, but it's one of the things you really got to watch for. So kind of as an interesting aside, I do know that out at the Robinson factory one time, they had a mechanic. They used to have the mechanics, if you weren't a pilot, you were a mechanic. They would ground run the aircraft and that sort of thing. Well, in this one case, they had a mechanic that had actually was ground running the aircraft, had it rolled up to 100%, and I guess because of his foot position or whatever, decided to slide back and ended up inadvertently going, I believe, full right pedal with the thing at 100% RPM, which I believe, if I remember the story correctly, produced 26 spins to the right. They were able to count it by the scratches on the ramp there, count how many times we went around. But this can be a big deal. So let's go out to the hangar. We'll take a look. Okay, so one of the things that a student or passenger, even if you're flying the aircraft, you're not a flight instructor, you just happen to have a front seat passenger with you, and you made the mistake of not taking out the controls on that side, and then this could be a problem as well. But what happens is when people reach into the back seat, so if you're a flight instructor, I'm playing the role of the student over here on the right-hand side. You know, the last thing you ever want somebody to try to do is to be flying the airplane and reach back into the rear seat and try to retrieve something such as a water bottle or something. They're going to want to drink of water, because what they can do if they're pushing, if they're back like this, they're trying to scoot back, and the next thing you know, their foot will slip and they'll go full left pedal. Right? That is a very, very disheartening occurrence. Believe me, I've had one student that did that, and it scared the living hell out of me. So. Okay, looking at it from this point of view, again, I'm the student here and I've got my feet down here on there, and if I try to reach back and my foot suddenly slips, you know, I can apply a significant amount of pedal, left or right, you know. And even if you transfer the controls, let's say that what you should do is transfer the controls. So student, and you got to be sure and remind the student before they ever get in the aircraft that if you need something out of that back seat, you give me the aircraft while you retrieve whatever it is that you're trying to get out of the back seat. So let's say you did that. You transferred controls and they've got their feet down on the floor like this, all right? Well, that doesn't cure you the problem. At that point, if you're flying on the left side, you should lock your feet down on the pedals, because they may be stretching back like this and trying to reach something, and all of a sudden their foot slips, and there you go. You got full left pedal or full right pedal, either one can be quite an event. So if they need to get something out of the back seat, have them transfer the controls to you, and then you lock down on the pedals on that side. Here, we'll look at that on the other side here. Okay, so you're flying along, you're the instructor, and when the student, they should transfer the controls to you. So you've got your controls and you got your feet locked down against the pedals, so that in case they are pushing back on one foot and their foot slips, then you can quickly check down and stop that pedal deflection, either left or right. So like I say, if they're going to be retrieving something out of the back seat, transfer the controls to you, and then they can concentrate on getting it. Now this can be a problem also, again, if somebody has a passenger over in this seat and they fail to remove the controls like you're supposed to if they're not a rated pilot, or even if they are a rated pilot and their foot slips, they can still push left or right pedal. So if you're flying along, whether you're the instructor or whether you're on the other side, and somebody's reaching into the back seat, you want to really lock down on those pedals, and in case they have an inadvertent pedal push from their foot slipping. Okay, well, I hope you found this video helpful, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next video.